Hello, good night. My name is Gisette King, and I am the co-founder of Cafe Azul, Texas, Autism. And in October, there is a lot of different kind of awareness. There is awareness about miscarriages. It is awareness for breast cancer, but it's also an awareness month for against bullying. And sometimes as parents, we are not sure about what is the correct way to deal with these situations. So today I'm gonna give a few basic tips. Again, how to deal effectively with bullying in school, especially if you have a kid with special needs. This can seriously take 1 or 2 hours. So I am just going to be giving you some tips about how to start managing at the beginning. The first clarification that I want to do is that one incident is not considered bullying. Okay, so it's really clear. It's really clear. I am not saying that if something happened once, you're not going to address it. I am not saying that. But if there was an incident that another student has been saying hurtful words or was physical with your child, okay, you still need to address it, but I do not recommend you using the word bullying if it only happens once, okay? So something that is really, really important when another child gets physical or it starts to say hurtful words or doing humiliating things to your child is, number one, if it was physical, you need to take pictures. You need to take pictures and you need to document it. And if it was physical, even if it's not considered bullying, you can still do a police report because it is important that is documented. You know, that your child, was a victim of physical aggression from another child or person. So that is very important. You do not need for it to be a constant thing for you to make a report. Another thing is that the key word is documentation. Documentation. The first thing that happened, okay, if you can call the teacher, it's okay. If you want to have a personal meeting with the teacher, it's also okay. But you need to have something in writing. You need to send an email to that teacher or that person in charge in school, and you need to say, hey, today my kid told me this happened, or today my child was hit or was humiliated or was pushed in school or in the bus. You're gonna have it in writing, and you're gonna tell the teacher that you're gonna call her or email her again, and you're gonna give her a dateline. You're gonna say, tomorrow I'm gonna send an email and I wanna know what is your plan or what is the school plan so this doesn't happen again. I am telling you not only to inform you, I am telling you because I am expecting you to do something about it so it doesn't happen anymore. If after you do this and you get back with the teacher, okay, it's also important that you get a copy of the handbook of your district. It is important for you as a parent to know how does your school or how does your district handle physical aggression, bullying, and all these kind of different behaviors, especially when it's junior high and high school where they're more frequent and when these kids experience this more. So it's very important that you as a parent have that manuals and policies in your hand. Also, it's very important, and you can get online where you can get what are the rights and the laws that protect your kid as a special needs against violence, bullying, and the kind of precautions and protocols that your school need to follow through if they have a kid with special needs. Now, if this happened 2-3 times and the school are not doing, or the plan that they're doing is not working, I would advise for you to send an email. And this is when you have already talked with the teacher and the principal. Now, I advise you to go, and again, every time that you go to the next person in charge, you do an email. If you also want to have a one-on-one conference with the teacher, I advise you that you can type the points that you want to talk with the teacher, and then if you're doing one-on-one, or you're gonna write it down, and then in the bottom she needs to sign up acknowledging that that was the conversation that happened. Okay, so it's very important that all the time there is a written evidence that those points were talked about, that there were some commitment that it was going to be addressed, and that they had a plan. So you know as a parent that either the plan is not working or that they are not putting the plan in place. All right. Now, if at the teacher principal level things are not resolved, you need to go to superintendent level at this time. Okay, so sometimes I hear parents and that they say, no, but like they have been bothering my kids for a month and I have talked with the teacher. No, if they have been bothering your child for a month, at this time you should be superintendent level, and you should have what are you going to do so to protect my child? What are you gonna do so these things gonna happen? What consequences is the other kids going to have? Okay, so I want to keep this video very short because I know that parents with special needs don't have a lot of time to be sitting around. Again, this is a basic video. Later on, we are gonna do another video when you have already been in written, you have already talked with the teacher, with the principal and superintendent, what are things that you can do after that. But again, it's very important, have everything in written, have dates, have pictures, have evidence. Okay, as a parent, I know that sometimes, and I am not saying that you're gonna tell your kid if somebody hits you need to hit them back, but as a parent, and I know that sometimes our kids, especially if they're high functioning, they might feel a little bit embarrassed if mom goes to school, but they don't know how to handle these things. And it's so sad how we have seen kids that they left with concussions in their head bleeding, because someone just thought that it was just funny to record a bunch of kids jumping on another kid. So you need to talk to your child. You need to communicate with your child, and anything abnormal, every physical aggression that you might see, any kind of behavior. And again, this might be a little bit easier to notice for kids that are verbal and they can communicate what's going on. For non-verbal kids, probably that will be another video about what signs to see when your child is being bothered or doesn't feel at home at school or is being abused. Though will be a total different video. Probably if your child is moderately or is verbal, it's better for you as a parent to have a little bit more knowledge about it. But again, the most important thing is documentation. Everything in writing. And if you make phone calls, you're gonna be writing who you call, what you talked about. You're gonna put the dates. And after a phone call, because again, everybody can deny what happened in a phone call, and they can promise you the sky and kingdoms and everything and then deny it. It will be good to send still an email, kind of a summary of what was talked about. Okay, so I hope that this can give you a little bit of a guideline and some kind of clarity about how to address these things. And If you're experiencing through that, my heart goes out to you, but you do not need to feel with your hands tied, or you do not need to feel that there's not a way to address this. There is a way. You should be empowered. There are different kind of ways, and the best way is through documentation. Okay, so I hope that you feel educated about this matter, and hope to have you in our next video when we'll talk a little bit more about how to do when things need to be escalating. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Gisette King with Cafe Azul, Texas. Have a great night. Bye.